Hello there, friends! It hasn't even been long since our last video, and rumors and inside information have already emerged into the field, leaving absolutely no one indifferent. Yesterday, the entire community was discussing roster changes in Navi, the upcoming final tournament for CSGO, and much more. So, without further ado, let's get straight to it. We will start slowly and gradually raise the bar. For now, let's talk about how the major champions are doing. Apex was noticed on French TV after the finals, and they are now the people's favorites. But even more interesting is how Kinder is feeling in Paris. He seemingly has become the king of the after party. I didn't tell you this in the previous episode, but during the grand finals, something happened that immediately spread all over the internet. At the arena, starting from the playoffs, people were opening dozens of cases and nothing was really dropping from them. But then, during the final, boom, it happens. Everyone was ecstatic, excited, and shocked. Did Gaben tweak something? Getting a knife live during the grand finals? It's hard to even dream about it. But then, as always, Twitter investigators did it, saying it was all fake. Apparently, in 2022, Valve made an update, and there should be a text on the right saying inspect items. But as you can see, it's not there, so it's 100% a recording, and it was made about a year ago, maybe even more. Oh, for a moment, everyone believed it. So this story had a continuation. The guy who actually opened the case on the major stream tells something interesting outside the arena.
So, boys, it was all staged.
Yeah, no shit.
It was all
At least you stand by it, bro.
Listen, it was the greatest lie from the beginning. I'm not here to lie anymore. It was staged. It was only for that reason.
It is possible that Blast knew all of this and decided to play along with the hype. If so, they definitely succeeded. The knife clip went viral on the internet and gathered millions of views. And finally, about the major, Apex will indeed shave his head this week. Before the major, he was answering questions from subscribers, and one of them asked if Apex would shave his head if he wins the major, to which the Frenchman replied, "Sure, no problem." And now it's time to stand by his words. We're waiting for the bold Apex. But now let's move on to the main news. What's happening with Navi? Where did this all hype about roster changes came from? It all started with Cholkin. He's a Russian-speaking streamer and commentator who worked at the major finals and had a good communication with s1MPLE, at least before. So he wrote on his Telegram channel that some news from Navi are coming soon and it will be surprising for all of us. And the news came, not from Navi themselves, but from one insider named Jonas. Yesterday, he released a huge post. I'm just passing on the information for you. Whether to believe this insider or not is up to each person. I have reasons to doubt this information as well as to believe certain aspects. Well, let's get to the information itself. Here's a quote. Navi will part ways with B1AD and NPL. The organization is making a choice in favor of s1MPLE and his views on the roster. In Tier 1 teams, the crucial decision is usually made by the coach after discussions and extensive work with the players. But in Navi, it is s1MPLE who makes the decision because he doesn't want to play a certain map against a certain team. And mostly, he makes the decision on the map picks, which often doesn't click with the coach's position. It is worth noting that the choice in favor of s1MPLE may be influenced by his current contract and the media component, although his individual performance and relationship with the team has taken a sharp decline. s1MPLE's relationships with B1AD are on the edge. If B1AD doesn't regain his form on his position, additional drastic decisions will be made. Currently, players are experiencing some pressure on each other. The organization plans to actively search for alternatives to test in the position of Perfecto or Electronic. Even options from Europe will be considered. However, these, for now, are just ideas more than facts, as there are direct hints from the management and the overall situation, and a couple of European players have already discussed possibilities with one of the representatives of the Ukrainian organization. I can't tell the nicknames right now. In fact, the entire roster is at risk. The only untouchable player is s1MPLE, who will be responsible for bringing freshness to the CS2 team. PS. CS. Another reason that could work against Electronic and Perfecto in a European lineup is the transition to English. An IGL with limited English knowledge finds it challenging to adapt to the new format. Well, that was the information from Jonas. According to him, the team is on the verge of collapse, and everyone except s1MPLE could be replaced. The situation regarding B1AD and NPL is already settled. These are quite surprising news if they are true, although some other insiders say that B1AD will definitely not be removed. The most they can do is to change his role as it was done with Kane in the past. In other words, Ami, who assembled the youth roster, will become the coach and B1AD will take the role of assistant or a sports director. Personally, I think B1AD will remain as the coach, but we will see what happens in reality. Regarding NPL, it's already clear to everyone and discussions about his departure from Navi has been going on for some time. The following news partially confirms some things. B started a stream yesterday and everyone asked him about roster reshuffles, but naturally, he doesn't know anything. Then it turned out that Navi won't be playing in tournaments anytime soon.
Так, расскажи, что за решафлы у вас? Я не знаю. Че надо с ней идти? Да потому что с визами проблемы у нас. Не получается сделать.
Пончик.
Будете играть Blast в Вашингтоне? Еще, не до конца понятно, но возможно, что нет. Шанс есть сделать визы к Вашингтону, но я не знаю, получится ли нет у нас. Но шанс маленький, но он есть. Почему в Даллас не идти? Потому что визы нет. Какой следующий турик? Было бы замечательно, конечно, если бы это был бы Blast в Вашингтоне. Это было бы очень хорошо, но не знаю. Возможно, это будет Blast после уже отпуска.
It's all about the visas, Beat says, but in reality we don't know what's happening within the team. Perhaps there is currently a restructuring going on. Just like Virtus.pro used visa issues with K-Run as a cover for a replacement, it could be the case here. But for now, it's mostly speculation. We'll wait for some news and comments. However, if we remember that the transition to CS2 is soon to happen, everything becomes more logical. When asked when they will start playing the new CS, Fallen replied, "Are we practicing in CS2? Yes, but ahead of us there are two CSGO tournaments. ESL Brazil Premier League Season 14, where we will try to win a slot in ESL Pro League, and Blast Premier Spring Final 2023 in Washington, which will likely be the last one in CSGO. So it's the very same Blast tournament that Navi might miss. Therefore, there is a possibility that they are currently restructuring the roster for CS2. But let's see what other people in the community are saying about it. For example, here's Pimp's words. "I don't mind NPL leaving, he tried his best but he wasn't cut for it now, maybe in the future, who knows? Getting rid of B1AD would make zero sense to me at all. There's very few coaches you can build teams around and B1AD is most definitely one of them. Teams build successful teams before players build successful teams, at least on the highest level. In this case, s1MPLE naturally would overrule that. So if he for some reason doesn't want to continue with B1AD, I can see why the priority would be different. That said, from the outside, I can't see a world where s1MPLE shouldn't want to continue with B1AD. If it has anything to do with B1AD picking and believing in NPL, then I would argue it's an overreaction. NPL was a bad pickup, and sticking with Electronic as an IGL was for me also the wrong move. That said, with the current situation in the world, who knows if Navi realistically had any other option. I hope this rumor remains just a rumor. I don't want B1AD to leave Navi." Thorin also expressed his opinion. "If B1AD's out of Navi, that's wild for me. If he was the one insisting on NPL, then I can see that angle, but I have talked to B1AD and watched all of his teams. Some of the structure he brought to the team is what made them unbeatable and a terror. CS teams have always been notoriously sloppy in post plants and late CT holds, and I've seen even the lesser Navi lineups under him fix those issues to a degree that was staggering. s1MPLE might have the worst attitude of any pro I've ever seen outside of LoL's Forgiven when it comes to expecting too much of his teammates and thinking that they can make his plays without being immediately fragged. He has a high game IQ, but it's impractical. I've also talked about those elements of the game for hours with s1MPLE in person. He just pretends I'm some pleb online. In person he was my fan and very complimentary. Sometimes the coach you need isn't the coach you want or think you want. Be careful what you wish for." And here's a popular Russian caster Slam who believes that it's all fake. "Here I am walking down the market looking for some snacks and everyone is discussing that Navi will remove B1AD. I buy a cup, pour myself a cold beer and taking a sip of it, I realized that they won't kick Blade. So I wish you all the best. Let me explain this one for you. The thing is, in the Russian-speaking community, the former Navi coach Kane is known for his love of cold beer. Therefore, some speculated that it was a hint to Kane's return to Navi. But as it seems to me, there is no real sense in drawing conclusions prematurely, especially since Pcholkin also said that he had completely different news. I don't know where the information about kicking Blade and NPL came from. I have completely different information, and the most important thing is that I didn't say it involves the players, so I wouldn't believe the rumors about anyone being kicked for now. And finally, I will share the opinion from the best scout in the entire Russian-speaking CS community, Roofire. This is the ideal scenario for Navi in my understanding. Kick Blade, add Ami. Kick NPL, add Fear or GL or Chaos or Zontex. And also add Simple's ex-girlfriend Arinan to Navi. With her, he was much more calmer and kinder. Friends, what do you think? Is it all fake, or are we really in for huge reshuffles in Navi? Write in the comments, let's discuss. So yeah, this turned out to be an unexpected urgent video, so let's continue to monitor the situation. If there are any new details, I will definitely release another video, so don't forget to subscribe to watch it. And I won't say goodbye for a long time. See you soon.